The Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Jess De Los Santos. The mother of late artist Bree Jonson appeals to authorities to further investigate billionaire scion Julian Ongpin's drug case. She also hopes for justice as the family prepares for Jonson's burial scheduled at 2 p.m. later today. Patricia Mangune with the report.
The PNP and NBI conducted a series of reenactments following the death of artist Bree Jonson. They looked at the possibility of Jonson being strangled by a chain hanging from the rod of a bathroom shower. They then examined how Bree's boyfriend, Julian Ongpin, transferred her body from the bathroom to the bed. They also checked if the shower curtain rod was able to carry a person with the same build as Jonson. Forensic officers also studied the scratches on Ongpin to see if it was indeed the result of trying to break through the bathroom door.
Findings nila hindi pwedeng manggaling sa kuko ng tao. Hindi pwedeng bunga ng pagkalmot sa kanya kasi malalayo tapos masyado mahaba.
Police went to Ongpin's residence in Benguet to get his statement, buccal swab, and fingerprints. He told authorities that he did not have a fight with Jonson at a La Union hostel where she was found dead.
Pagbabasihan din natin accounts ng mga apat kaibigan nila na nakasama the night of Friday. Maganda naman daw yung pinakitang samahan ni Julian at saka ni Bree.
The investigation, though, has not yet ruled out the possibility of a foul play pending the complete forensic results. Jonson's family is now calling for the transfer of Bree's internal organs to the NBI so that they can complete their parallel investigation.
The important organs that needed in the case, in the investigation, are within their custody. So we are waiting for that. And please give it ASAP. And one more thing, NBI will not release a report unless completo.
Bree's mother also appealed for the immediate arrest of Julian Ongpin following his charges for cocaine possession and use. The PNP vowed to conduct a fair investigation despite Ongpin coming from a prominent family. For News 5, Patricia Mangune. We are One News.
Labor leader Leody de Guzman has accepted Partido Lakas ng Masa's nominations to run for president in the 2022 elections. De Guzman is a known champion of workers' rights. He is also currently the chairman of Bukluran ng Manggagawang Pilipino. He ran for senator in the 2019 midterm elections but failed to break through the top 12. Meanwhile, Senator Manny Pacquiao formally announced his retirement from boxing. He will be focusing in his bid for presidency in the 2022 elections. Pacquiao has been boxing since he was 12 years old. Dr. Willie Ong admits that he feels very concerned about possibly running against President Duterte in 2022, but notes that he is more focused with his own agenda. Speaking on 1PH's Sa Totoo Lang, Ong said he only considered running for vice president because of his dream of improving the country's healthcare system, especially amid the pandemic. He says that although he's concerned that he might face Duterte, his intention is not to be the president's rival, but to reach his own goals for the health sector. Ong believes the healthcare system in the Philippines showed little to no improvements over the past 28 years.
Nakita nyo naman sa, hindi naman tayo bata, di ba? Sa 28 years, halos walang improvement ng healthcare. Sa mga bawat presidency, nakita nyo may improvement pero hindi talaga natututukan at naging very obvious ngayong COVID pandemic.
An expert expressed concern over erroneous or misleading statements of President Duterte, saying these could lead to the public losing more trust to the rule of law. Here's the report.
President Duterte sees no problem with the use of face shields with fake expiration dates sold by Pharmally to the government.
Paano ito mag-expire? Unless abusuhin mo, itapon-tapon mo. Pero kung isuot mo lang at ilagay mo ng magandang pagkalagay ganon, paano mag-expire yan?
Duterte threw his defense behind these face shields, even though faking of expiration dates is considered a violation under Article 40 of the Consumer Act. This states that faking the expiration date of any product is against the law. But this is not the first time the president himself violated or questioned the own rules of his government. Last year, when only a few number of vaccines have arrived in the country, President Duterte defended his security group, which he himself admitted had been vaccinated using smuggled Sinopharm vaccines. There was no emergency use authorization yet for Sinopharm at the time. Just last month, while the Senate is rolling its investigation into the alleged misuse of pandemic funds, Duterte slammed COA for flagging the Health Department's alleged mishandling of some 67 billion pesos, even though this is part of COA's mandate. Duterte has also yet to release his SAL-N, or Statement of Assets, Liabilities, and Net Worth, to the public. A political scientist said the public is slowly losing its trust in the country's laws because of the president's own erroneous statements.
This is quite consistent in terms of like the behavior of the president. Kapag sinabi niya sa police, di ba, na you can kill in my name, I will absolve you, I will help you get out of jail, no, di ba, para I won't let them prosecute you. And I think we're hearing the same thing again.
The expert says this is also a cause for concern, as the president's errors could boost the confidence of corrupt officials.
You know, we can probably do all of these things that we want to do and never be made accountable for. That's really problematic kasi nga, sabi nga natin, that's against the rule of law. But everyone, that no one, and not even the president, no, not even his men, no, should be above the law.
Arian Colombiran, We Are One News.
Ireland is the new #1 in Bloomberg's COVID resilience ranking. Bloomberg's Dara Doyle explains how the country has made a startling turnaround.
Last Christmas, Irish people got an unwelcome gift when they found out that Ireland was suffering the world's worst outbreak of COVID, with almost 8,000 cases a day. 9 months on, Ireland is set to top the Bloomberg COVID resilience rankings. So how did we get here? How did things improve so dramatically? 3 key factors. Number 1, post-Christmas, Ireland introduced one of the strictest lockdown regimes in the world. Schools, restaurants were closed for most of the spring, as were most bars. Second, Ireland introduced a fairly strict set of border controls. Most arrivals from high-risk countries have to quarantine in hotels. But probably the third and most important factor is the vaccine rate. Ireland has a very compliant population, it turns out, and now almost 90% of the population are vaccinated with at least 1 jab. And that all adds up to less than 1,500 cases a day. In terms of the economy has sheltered reasonably well, boosted by the likes of exporters such as Google and Facebook, who are based here. And now, with most restrictions set to go on October 22nd, it looks like Ireland will once again be one of the fastest growing economies in the world.
Here's a quick look at some of today's headlines. More people continue to flock COMELEC sites to register for the 2022 elections in Quezon City. Some of them have been queuing for almost 2 days but still failed to make the cut. The Octa Research Group says it's possible that the surge of the Delta variant cases will end as early as next month. And Gilas Pilipinas women suffered another loss in the FIBA Asia Cup, this time to Australia. And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us later at 12 noon as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Jess De Los Santos. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe. Philippines, we are One News.